Hi, everyone. Welcome to El Valor de Sanar, the courage to heal. As always, I want to thank God for another day of life, and also to each one of you for taking the time to pause, to breathe, and to connect with the value that you need the most. And of course, Motiva Activa for helping us to share our messages across the borders. And well, today I am so excited because I have in the studio a very special friend, an amazing woman that has wow, how can I tell you? A journey of resilience, of faith, transformation, but also a heart for serving others. Her name is MJ. MJ, welcome to the program. And now I know that you have so many titles because you are also a nurse practitioner for more than 30 years, right? You also are a podcaster, life coach. You are also a life agent. You have so many titles. But before going through all those journeys of professionalism, I want to know who is MJ behind all those roles.
All right. Hi, everyone. And thank you, Atala, for having me on your show. I'm really very excited. And as a person, okay, of course, my name is MJ, as Atala had said. And before we get to what kind of profession I have and all that, I just wanted people to know I'm happily a married woman. Okay. And I have 3 wonderful children. I have adult kids, 27, 25, and 18. And I came from the Philippines. So I grew up in the Philippines, came to the US about 23 years ago. And as everybody that comes from other countries who come to the melting pot or to the land of opportunities, here in the United States, I had a lot of reasons to come. And first and foremost was family. You know, as a Filipino American in the United States, our goal or our dream has always been to have families, right? So grew up in poverty, that's for sure.
Tell me a little bit about that. Let's make a little space because, you know, sometimes we see people, I mean, once that they have been overcoming all these struggles, you know, now that they are successful. But tell me a little bit about what did you remember when you say poverty? Sometimes we can have poverty in the heart. Sometimes we can have poverty financially. But what do you mean poverty for you?
Well, for me, it was really intense. I mean, no kidding. I grew up in poverty, literally. Like, we even had moments growing up where we only had rice, oil, and salt to eat. I'm not kidding. So poverty when it comes financial, yes, we were poor. Literally, I grew up homeless. We didn't have a house of our own. We lived on relatives' houses or we rented other places. I can remember we probably moved about 5 or 6 times
How
up
old were
until
you?
I was college.
How old were you, MJ, when all that happened in your life?
Well, from birth until I graduated in college.
But you know, it's amazing because I think resilience comes from struggles, but also positivism comes from resilience, for being resilient. So you are an amazing resilient person because every time I see you, of course, I see the smile, I see the person who is helping patients, you know, who has a lot of experience in many different fields. But how that moment truly transformed the way you see life now?
I can totally tell. I mean, honestly, those experiences that I had in life, may they be financial struggles, emotional, mental, physical, they have made me who I am today. Because when I was growing up, as I've shared earlier, not only financially that we were hard, I came from a very dysfunctional family. Like, I honor my parents. Both my parents passed. My dad was 56, my mom was 47. But when I say dysfunctional, dysfunctional, like physically, there was some abuse. There was some abuse. Like, of course, my father had a difficult life as well. So I always had that understanding because I always step back. Whenever I see somebody who's not acting in their best behavior, I always try to step back and see why is this person acting that way? And I always understood my father because he didn't grow up with the right guidance as well. So growing up, despite all those difficulties, I told myself, my family, my kids will not have this kind of life. I always had in my mind and my feelings and that I'm going to change the trajectory of our lives.
And you did it.
And
And
I
you
did.
did it.
But it wasn't me. God has always been there. You know, in the Philippines, we all grow up Catholic. We're all born Catholic. Everybody goes to the church whenever there are occasions, especially, you know, those festivities, Christmas, uh, Easter, those things, right? But when I came, like, I think I was in first year college, when I got to attend a different type of worship, worshiping God. And that's when I came to know Christ as my personal savior.
Let me ask you something, because many people can grow, you know, in Catholic or Christian or whatever the religion is. But I think sometimes life gives you the opportunity to truly get to know more God. Who is God in your life, especially in moments of crisis and moments when you have a loved one who, you know, maybe has been killed, or maybe you have going through, I don't know, divorce or whatever the situation is. So everybody, sometimes we have those kind of waking moments. What is one of those moments that you think that truly wake you spiritually? What could be that moment, MJ?
Well, as I've said, I was in college. I went to this praise and worship, different type of church. And I realized back then that truly and honestly, God has always been with me, because I cannot tell you enough, Atala, how many times, so many dark moments in our lives. But now I can remember that waking moment. There was a time or incident. It was, I think, Christmas season. My brother and I, my brother who's a nurse now, his name is James, we were the only ones that were left at home. And our father was so mad because one of our sister was not home yet, and it was night. And he just got mad at us. And of course, physically, again, as I've said. And that moment, I told myself, I'm done with this life. I was about to leave. Like, I'm done. I mean, this is it. I was so tired. I was already in college. I mean, what do you expect? Like, growing up like this, there must be a way out. But you know what? I felt like, I'm not kidding, like a something cold sensation all over my body. And I think it was God. And God told me, don't stay where you are right now and continue what you're doing. Because if I have left, my father would be more mad. My brother would be by himself. I mean, what's going to happen, right? So I promised myself, whatever happens, I'm going to stick to this family. I love my family so much that every goal, every dream I was having, like every night I was dreaming that someday, somehow, this family will get better. That I was even dreaming like every night that I will have a house for the whole family. All my siblings are there and everything. So God has been there with me every step of the way. That He was always there telling me, don't give up, don't quit. I'm with you. I'm gonna get you through this.
And what
And I
happened
did.
then, MJ? Because I think that sometimes in life, those moments are very transformative, right? Especially when we're going through pain, and that pain kind of is like the fuel, not just the energy, but sometimes it's the fuel, because it can transform our lives, right? So when you were in the Philippines, you were going through, you know, this situation with your family. You were also like in college, right? You mentioned?
Yeah, from elementary up to college.
Okay, so when was the time that you decided to say, this is not anymore for me, and now I'm going to move to the United States? How that transition happened?
Well, even despite that, right? Despite the real bad situation, family dysfunction and all that, poverty, homelessness, despite all that, God also has gifted me with not just the resilience that I've built on through these challenges and the struggles that I've honored all my life. I honored all the struggles. He also gave me a gift of speaking, a gift of like I was an honor student. I finished from elementary until college. I finished with flying colors. I'm not bragging, y'all. I
It's
just
okay to
want,
cry. It's
yeah,
you,
but I
it's
just
your
want to
story.
let everybody know that despite your struggles and your challenges, God can show or can show you, like, you can give glory to God with everything that you do. So I graduated in elementary school. I'm not kidding. I was third in the class, and our first was a mayor's son. Our second or salutatorian was a doctor's daughter. I was a driver's daughter. I'm proud of that. And then high school, the same thing. I mean, I was a salutatorian. College, I graduated cum laude, and
Wow.
I was 18th placer in the board exam.
Because you have the desire, you have that, when you have the hunger, that's
Yes.
when you feel like I can do everything. And
Yeah.
then I think when you wake up spiritually, you
Mhm.
know that there is a purpose beyond, whatever
Y-
struggles you are facing
yes.
to.
Mhm.
So tell me a little bit more about how those difficult moments have shaped your life in the way that
yeah.
now you are serving people.
Mhm.
But I'm sure that you're also learning, using whatever you learn from those experiences and you're applying into your call now.
Yes, absolutely. Because every experience, every struggle that we have, every success, failure, all the things that we achieve in life and that we become, whatever we become out of those experiences, there is always somebody out there who might be waiting to just listen and to hear about, because our stories are there for us to share, to empower people and to inspire people. I've always said, Atala, that the sky is vast, right? And multitudes, millions of stars. And we are one star in the sky that shines. So your life can shine and can empower people, regardless whether you have a wonderful life, that you don't have any bad experiences, or you have those struggles or deep moments or pits. Those pits, if you come out victorious and you climb the mountain and you come up on the top of the mountain despite the struggles going up, you have a very powerful story. You can change lives.
I think it's because also you didn't keep yourself in the pain, It's like it's very easy for us when we're going through very difficult moments to just stay in the pain. And from there you cannot create. Absolutely. You don't have the energy to create. But when we're able to turn around the pain into a purpose, that's different, because you create, you have the energy, you have the purpose, you have the creativity, you have the clarity also to keep going. So that's exactly what happened to you. But MJ, I also know you have an amazing story. Actually, something that I admire so much from you, about serving for 30 years in the medical field.
Yes.
Where I met you, actually. Helping patients, families, right? Helping them in some of the most critical moments in their lives. So how that experience also has been shaping you. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, as a nurse, again, I just want to let everybody know, nursing actually was not even my first choice. But because of my family situation, I wanted to help my family. And I have relatives here in the US who told me, okay, we cannot help you come to the US if you pursue your passion of public speaking or journalism or broadcasting. So I had to put my dream aside and follow that so I can help my family, right? So I didn't realize, though, little did I know that I was born to serve, and nursing is serving.
Absolutely.
It takes a special person to really actually take care of people who are sick, right? So not only did I realize that nursing is one of my passion, but having 30 years experience in the nursing profession have not only given me, of course, the skills and all that, but have given me the opportunity to serve people, especially with my last job at MD Anderson in the palliative care department as a nurse practitioner, where I had to have daily conversation with people struggling cancer. I mean, it's an awakening, at the same time a blessing, because when we are on that situation where we want to just help in our own little way, like just be there listening to them, you realize it gives you a very different perspective about
Absolutely.
life.
I think
It
it
just
also
makes you, shapes you to become,
and also more empathy, more compassion, true
yes.
compassion,
Oh,
because you are also
absolutely.
touching people's life in many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You are see their pains, their fears, their
Mm-hmm.
struggles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also the faith,
Mm-hmm.
because that's something else that I have seen also.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that when you are in the medical field, you see miracles
Mm-hmm.
and you see also opportunities to put on into other people through
Mm-hmm.
your own faith too. So tell me a
Yes.
little bit about how your faith has shaping you as well.
My faith is the number one thing. Again, Atalas, I've said, I didn't realize that God has always been there with me. It wasn't me, because human as we are, we cannot do the things that we can without the Holy Spirit. So my faith is the biggest and most important part of my life. Every single day, of course, I'm human. I mean, nobody's perfect. Only God is perfect. So my faith is the most important, because I know that whatever happens, God has a plan in my life. He has that plan, not even before we were born. God already knows what He has for us. Our path is already planned. And all we have to do is to follow that. And I think, even though sometimes I go the other way, I know God will always pull me back, because I know He's going to carry me through.
He has been carrying you through
Yeah,
so
He's
many
been
days.
carrying
Yes.
me through. I mean, I wouldn't be who I am without Him. Because again, with our human strength, we cannot do anything. As you said, I would have given up. I wouldn't be where I am. It's all because of Him, because of the Holy Spirit, because of His guidance. I am who I am. If I was operating, or if I was functioning from a human perspective, I would have given up, just like a lot of people out there. Every little difficulty in life, I would have given up. I've been through a lot of difficulties. You name it, I've had it. But because of God's guidance and faithfulness and mercy and grace, I am who I am.
And I think something else, MJ, because you mentioned that your parents, the way that you, grew up, but also God gave you a heart of forgiveness. And I think forgiveness is crucial in everything that we're doing, because we may be going through something very difficult, but we're still having, resentment towards somebody. Like, for example, in my case, my husband, I will not be able to function since many years ago. But you have to overcome those obstacles, and you have to just let it go, that person, that conversation, that situation, because you don't have to carry anymore. So I believe that forgiveness is one of the most important values that I use in my methodology, which I 7. But I want you to share now a little bit about how forgiveness has been also being one of the most important values in your life.
Oh, Atala, I love it. You know what? I love the way you're asking me these questions, because now I can pour out who I am, right? But I believe if you forgive someone, you're not just forgiving the person, but you're freeing yourself. You're right.
Yes, I cannot tell you how much.
You
Yes.
are freeing
Yes.
yourself. I can probably tell you, I mean, again, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Only God is, right? I probably can tell you, I have not even my whole hand or 5 fingers, people that I probably have had big emotional struggles with, but I can easily forgive. I can release, unless you've done something to me, or not even to me. I don't care what you do to me. That's always, but if you touch my family, my kids, or say anything about my kids, that what ticks me off. Of course, I'm human. I'm not perfect, right? But I've always, I don't know, God has been really guiding me and just telling me, my daughter, I mean, we are all God's children. If you are a believer or not, whatever spiritual belief you have, I'm not promoting mine, but everybody has some type of belief in the higher power, right? And we honor that. And God has always given me that heart of forgiveness, because I may have some people that I'm ticked about, but not like bad like other people. I want to tell you a story.
Mhm.
When I was teaching as a test of spoken English instructor in the Philippines, helping nurses to come to the
Mhm.
US, I was teaching a class one day, and one of the students after the class came to me and said, "Thank you, Miss MJ," or Jane. They call me Jane in the
Mhm.
Philippines, but now in the US, I'm MJ, right? So she said, "Thank you, Miss Jane. Because of your story, now I forgive my own father."
That's powerful, because when
Yes,
you are
you
able
never know
to
again, because I
inspire
always
people.
share
Mhm.
about my story because I know that somebody is listening, maybe waiting for that moment. And so she said, "I didn't even realize how petty
Was.
my right." That's what she said. "You have gone through so much, yet you have so much love and understanding of your father. Who am I not to forgive my father?" So it's like, wow. You know what? Even if just one life at a time, one person at a time that you can touch or inspire, that will have a trickle effect.
And it
That
will
person will pay forward.
transform lives and transform your family and
Yes.
transform your business and everybody who's around you, because
Mhm.
you become more attractive. One day I was talking with somebody, say, "You are very attractive." Say, "In which aspect?" Say, "Well, I was just laughing." Say, "No, I believe it's not just what you see outside, it's the
Mhm.
work that has been inside, because when you are able to truly let go of things that
Mhm.
you don't need to carry, when you're able to, again, forgive, to be more empathetic with people, to show
Mhm.
compassion, all those values are not
Mhm.
there just for no reason.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
amazing what it can do
Mhm.
in your immune system, in your life, in your creativity, productivity, in your energy. It's unbelievable in your relationships as well.
Oh,
So,
yes.
NJ, tell me something now about, because I know that you have a podcast also,
Mhm.
and it's called Be Bold.
Mhm.
And this is a movement that you are creating.
Yes.
Share with us a little bit about that movement, please.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to let everybody know that Atala and I were actually the original hosts of that podcast. So,
Absolutely. I remember those
yes.
days, unbelievable. Time flies, and it was just amazing to see
Yes.
how
Yeah.
when you have a vision, it
Yeah.
actually, and you put your emphasis, your energy, it just expand.
Yes.
Definitely.
So that movement is there. Be Bold, why not exists? Because of one thing. I want every single person, regardless of your status in life, regardless of your position in life, I want you to realize that you have a very powerful story, and you just have to get out of there and boldly share it, because your story can change lives. So it's a movement.
Absolutely. I
It's a
remember those
movement.
days.
Like, that's why my guests are not like, oh, I have guests who are gurus or high in the community. No, I want to feature every single person that want to come on my podcast, because I know no matter how big or small you think your story can make an impact, there's no such thing, because that little spark can actually become like a fire.
And we all have stories. Sometimes our
Yes.
stories are we have not been able to really appreciate them,
Mhm.
to really kind of know
Mhm.
that the story has been shaping you, but also can shape the lives of so many other
Oh,
people as well.
yes.
So,
Yeah.
NJ, I know that during all these years of experience doing working in medical field, also serving people in many different ways as a life coach to podcaster, uh, how did you define yourself? What do you enjoy the most doing?
This.
Okay.
I really enjoy speaking. I love speaking. I started speaking as little as I was maybe 2 or 3 years old. I had an aunt, she already passed. She was my father's cousin. She would bring me everywhere she goes, and I would recite a poem. I was like, there was a
Talent,
time,
natural
yeah, I,
talent.
I was not ashamed to, or I wasn't shy to speak. I had a poem. It's very funny, but I will translate it in English
Mm.
because it was in Tagalog, which is our native language. It says, my poem was, um, I will speak a poem. Okay. I gotta think of it because I have to translate. But in Tagalog, it says, ako'y tutula mahabang mahaba, ako'y uupo tapos na po. That means in English, I will recite a poem. It's very long. Now I'm going to sit it's done.
Well,
That's funny. So I would like every time she would bring me, I would say that poem. And then growing up, as soon as I went to school, I started like with oratorical competitions, declamation. I was in public speaking up until I graduated in college, even when I was in nursing school, y'all.
so
Yes,
that's why, you know,
yes.
sometimes we do many things, but there is a natural talent that you have been
Yeah.
edifying, you have been working through, you know, you have been, I mean, actually perfectionism doesn't exist, but you have always been able to work in an area in where you love that comes
Yes.
naturally,
Yes.
which is
To me,
rightfully
is speaking. I mean, I'm not
communication.
kidding. Like, if I'm in a crowd, say, for example, if they would ask somebody to share or speak in front, I would raise my hand.
Mhm.
The only thing, it's ironical though, I'm a little bit scared approaching people,
Really?
starting a conversation. That's my weakness.
Interesting.
I know, interesting.
Interesting.
Like, it's very ironic. But if you want me to speak about like anything on stage, I'm like,
It's interesting. You know,
yeah.
you just remind me of a very good friend of mine. She's from
Uh-huh.
Italy, and unbelievable. She was very, very introspective. I mean, introverted person,
Mhm.
right? Very. But when she was in front of the camera, she
Mhm.
was another person.
Mhm.
Amazing. She was a model. So
Mhm.
unbelievable. Say you can, you know, yes, because one thing is like in some areas of our life, we don't need to be always, you know, super talkative and
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
share everything with, I mean, all
Mhm.
our, you know, our thoughts with
Yes.
everybody. But there is some specific areas in which you feel comfortable.
Mhm.
You feel like this belongs to you. It's like
Mhm.
comes naturally, that talent.
Yes.
So tell me something, MJ. I know that we have been talking a little bit about your life, about your podcast, about also your career in the medical field. And I know that recently you have an incident, I will say that really also transformed the way that you see life.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about what happened to you, please.
Well, unfortunately, a couple of days ago, well, in the 29th to be exact, on May 29th, I was at the gym trying to be healthy. Of course, I'm a nurse, right? So I gotta walk the talk,
Balance.
right? So I'm trying to exercise. Of course, I'm trying to be healthy because health is wealth, right? So I was exercising, and for some reason, I was experiencing some odd symptoms that, as a nurse, I know sign of probably a stroke or a mini stroke. Well, I was raising weights and my lip was just drooping the other way. So it scared me because, of course, the more we know, as in healthcare, we get scared when things happen like that. So I went to the ER. I was admitted at Methodist Hospital, and they did all the workup to make sure I didn't have a stroke. Well, my MRI was negative, but incidentally, they also found that one of the valves it's called the foramen ovale, or it's a valve in our heart that it's supposed to close when we are still kids, right? It didn't for me. So although the tests were negative, that incidental finding is an awakening experience for me because I've been ignoring symptoms. Like maybe I feel dizzy here and there, or I feel my heart palpitations here and there, and it's like, oh, it's okay. And we are bad nurses. We take care of others, but sometimes we ignore our own health, right? So for that moment, 2 days that I was in the hospital, I just reflected on things. It gave me an opportunity to actually really pause and think more about life. Do I continue what I'm doing, or do I go back to I was doing? Because for the information of everybody too, I just quit my full-time job at MD Anderson.
But congratulations for that, because it's not easy, but it's worth it. You know?
I'm still practicing as a nurse practitioner once a week at a pain clinic, but I also gave up that full-time job because I'm at that stage of my life where I want to pursue other things, help people in a different capacity. So at that moment when I was in the hospital, I was thinking, did I make the wrong decision? Should I go back? Because of course I was used to getting paycheck regularly.
And besides
now
that, you are a great.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say access to any hospital. Honestly,
Yes. Yes. So now it made me realize that at this stage of my life, I think God is now giving me like the platform or the stage or another chapter to actually do more things and to actually go all in my purpose. this is MJ. I'm still a nurse practitioner, MJ. I'm still serving people, capacity, right? And also, all these experiences I have in life, now I can actually create something that people can access, create a course, help people in that way. And also, I am in the financial business. I'm a life insurance agent, and I help protect families financially, secure their future, offer that peace of mind. So, guys, tell me, you have all this, it's still serving.
So when you were in the hospital, that made you just kind of give you the opportunity to pause, to reflect, to say, what else is coming now in my life? You know, because I think when we take a leap of faith, I don't think that there is like we need to go back. There is more, you know, in front of us, but we need to be brave. We need to be faithful. We need to be courageous enough to
And
keep
bold.
going. Absolutely. But I do believe also that those moments are just kind of awakening moments to guide you more, to give you the intuition, to give you the opportunity to say, okay, let me just pause a little bit. Let me listen to myself. What is coming next? And I'm going to believe that it's possible.
Yes.
You know? When you believe, when you have faith, when you know that this is for you, there is no questions.
Yes.
There is no doubt because you have this certainty. And you cultivate a certainty also in difficult moments or during those difficult moments.
Yeah. So that experience of mine gave me more clarity. Because, of course, as I've said again, I have God every single day in my life, right? Guiding me with my decisions. But of course, as humans, sometimes we doubt, sometimes we have fear, right?
Yeah, we're human. We feel, we feel everything.
We have fear.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
And especially in moments in where you have a career of 30 years.
Yes,
and
30
then
years.
You say, you know, now I just go and going to jump into my business, in my vision, investing in yourself, which I really believe is just a great opportunity because sometimes we have, not just sometimes, we have more experience, more wisdom, more resources. And you have also the opportunity to say, I believe in this call, in this purpose, so this legacy that God has given me, and I'm going to share with the world.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, I listened to Ed Milet. One of his, I love this when he says it, you have the power to change or help the person you used to be. That's why we have all those experiences. It's not for us to keep them. It's for us to share them. So whoever is going through that experience, you will be able to help that person because you already know you came out of it, right? So that's why all these experiences that we have, these are preparations for God's purpose in our lives.
Absolutely. You know, I remember now that you mentioned, I was taking a course and they told me, Atala, you are so resilient. It's unbelievable. People who doesn't know your stories really. And I say, yes, because sometimes you already overcame and you forgot about when you were in those moments, in the painful moments, in the fearful moments. And maybe it's not that you forget about it, it's because you learn how to turn them around. So that's the difference. And I believe that we all have situations in our lives that has been very painful, right? But also has been, we have been able to overcome. So you have the opportunity to touch every single day, you know, somebody's life in an amazing way. We're not talking about just in a podcast, you know, in a stage. We're talking in regular life when you're going through, I mean, your work, when you are talking to your family, when you're talking to your friend. We always have the opportunity, but I wonder if we take the opportunity sometimes, right?
Yeah, we don't. I mean, sometimes we take these things for granted, right? Oh, so at that moment too, I had the courage. As I was sharing to you off camera earlier, that experience of mine in the hospital too had given me the courage and the boldness. Of course, I have be bold, why not? So I should be exercising that, right? So to open up to my husband and just open up to him things that I've been carrying on my shoulder. And you know what? That's the most and the best outcome of that experience of mine. Because if I didn't experience this, I was like going the same thing.
Cycle,
It's the
yeah.
same cycle. So I told myself something has to change, because if it doesn't, I will be in the same situation regardless of how much effort I put into the things that I do. If nothing changes, I'm going to be stuck.
But something else, MJ, sorry for interrupt you, because it was through those difficult moments of being in a hospital, being able to have time to reflect, right?
Mhm.
To see your life, maybe you were able to also turn around a difficult situation. And I'm talking about a relationship.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we can be in a relationship, but sometimes maybe we're not able to really express everything that we want
Mhm.
for whatever reason. So now explain me a little bit about what is the freedom that you feel?
Oh, no price. I mean, there's no price you can put on that freedom. It's priceless. You know how you've been carrying this baggage all your life because you're just trying to just push them, push them, push them. Now that you have unloaded it, imagine that weight, and imagine how much more blessings God can put in that. Because to receive the blessings around us, or to receive a positive energy from the world, we have to open up and let go of the things that don't serve us.
That's super important.
Yeah.
Because many times when somebody comes, for example, in my coaching, in coaching sessions, everybody carry so many things, people, conversations, situations from 20, 25 years, 30 years. And I wonder how this person has been able to continue working or living or functioning. Sometimes it's not to the full,
No.
because every thought that we have carries energy too.
Mhm.
And especially, unfortunately, we carry always the frustration, the anger, the disappointment, the guiltiness, all those things. So I think this is a liberation for you, MJ.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm free.
Even though it came through a difficult moment in your life,
yes.
you turn once again.
God is so good. Yes, once again, God is so good. I mean, it's like He was telling me, my child, I don't know if you can keep going. You have so much to share in the world, and you already are making an impact. How much more if you free up yourself from all these things? The more that you can make a difference, the more that you can share, the more stories that can really shine on you, and that you can, of course, all glory to Him, right? So it's so liberating.
I'm very
feel-
happy for you because I can
Yes.
see your greatness, the opportunities that are going to be coming into your way, and also the heart of service that you have, which is not, it's unique, very unique. MJ, I'm very grateful that you have been with us today. Thank you for all these, insights of wisdom, also for the knowledge that you have been sharing, and especially for your honesty, your vulnerability. I think that when we are vulnerable, we can truly connect with people, and people can see your authenticity and your purpose. Anything else, MJ, that you want to share with us today?
Well, I just want to share to everybody, whatever you're going through, may it be mental, physical, emotional, you are an integral part of your healing. Unless you I know, because this program is the courage to heal, right? Until you take that step to fully surrender to whatever you're going through, and acknowledging that. Because again, nobody in this world has a perfect life. Nobody is spared from any type of difficulties or struggles. We all go through struggles. That's given. That is given. But up until we acknowledge that, and we honor that, and that we say, yes, I am going through this, not because I'm not blessed, or not because I'm different, but we're going through this because they are meant to make us better. Because God is not done with us yet. There is that better version of ourselves, that we go through all these things because we cannot achieve that person without going through
Difficulties
Yes.
shape us, and
Yes.
also I think that make us not just better human beings, but also give us that call, your real call in life. That if it was not for those struggles, you were not being able to serve at that potential.
Yes, you are not alone. Just remember, whatever struggles you're going through, you are not alone. Everybody goes through that. So honor that struggle and make it a fuel. Make it a fuel for you to become the best version that God has created you to be. And I promise you, you will be able to help so many people. You will be able to touch lives that beyond your imagination. You can reach out to so many people, especially now with social media, right?
So everybody has the opportunity to share their
Yes.
stories, but also I think the real heart, because we don't want people to be perfect. We want people to have the heart to share their vulnerability, as you have done with us today.
Yes.
MJ, and please let us know if somebody would like to know more about your job, where they can reach you.
Okay. Well, you can follow me on my Facebook page. My name is MJ Verzosa Concepcion. And you can also follow Lawin Media Network if you want to follow my podcast, Be Bold, Why Not? We're on a break right now because we are going through season 9. We're trying to, yes, I know, right, Atala?
Unbelievable. 3 years almost.
Yes, almost 3 years that I've had the podcast. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Nurse MJ for you. So see, Nurse MJ for you. I'm here for you, okay? I'm here for you. And you can call me if you want to chat with me. Just if you need somebody to listen to you and you can express your struggles, I'm here for you. My name is, again, MJ Verzosa Concepcion on Facebook. My number is 806-407-9038. And please, always remember, you are here for a reason. We all have a calling. Commit to that. And also, I want to let you know, whatever dreams you have in life, go for it. I always believe dreams don't die. They are just there for you to start working on them and just following. Listen to your heart. Listen to your calling. Listen to that small voice within you telling you to live life to the fullest. Life is fragile. You never know what happens tomorrow. So live it to the fullest every single day. Be grateful. Gratitude makes things like
it changes the perspective.
Changes so many things. Whatever life is throwing at you, there's a reason for that. We just have to be grateful that we wake up every single day. We have a breath. We appreciate the world. We have people like Atala. We have our families. We have a job. And whatever it is that holding you back to be bold and take that step to follow your dream, pray and ask God, and He will direct your path.
Thank you, MJ. It has been a pleasure to have you here in the power to heal, right? The courage to heal. So now I just wanted to invite everybody else. If somebody's going through something difficult, I want to also leave my information there for just ask questions about coaching sessions, about workshops, about different kind of services that they're providing. And especially always remember to pause, because pausing in life is necessary for us to have clarity and the energy to keep moving forward in life. Once again, this is El Valor de Sanar.